Happy New Year, Veritas family. We are so glad that you're here for our very first give and take of 2025, if you can believe it. Hey, real quick, as I'm thinking about it, type me in the comments if you've already messed up 2025. Like if you've already started 2024 and had to cross it out and put 2025, because I am in that category already. If you're new this time with us, as always, we're going to jump in and tell us where you're watching from. Delaney's on from Bland, Virginia. Also, tell us how you might know Dr. Lester. Some of you might know him from a previous ministry. You might have had him in a class. You might have been in travels. Dr. Lester is with us today. He is the president of Veritas Baptist College. He has been on with us give and take last fall at some point. Hello, Dr. Lester.
Hey, Sherry. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. We've got Denny on. He's in Antigua. Welcome. Hope you guys had a great Christmas break. We're jumping in, ready to go. So we have a new segment. Since we have already done our introductions, as you're a repeat offender, we're going to start a new segment called Ministry Matters. So it is where our guests will just share from their heart something that's been on their heart, something the Lord has given them, burdened them in these in whatever's going on in their life, whatever might be helpful to the students. So I am going to let you loose and take over.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Hey, first of all, I really appreciate the fact that you have this for our student body. I think it's so helpful, especially as an online college. So to our students watching today, and perhaps those who may watch later, really glad that God has led you to Veritas. I'm excited for what God is doing here through the ministry. So I began preaching in 1989 as a senior in high school, actually the last semester of my junior year. The context of the churches I grew up in, if you said God called you to preach, the very next Sunday they had you preaching. So I began preaching in 1989 regularly, then graduated from college in 94. And right after graduation, I started as a part-time ministry position, children's pastor, church bus director, and just did a secular job on the side. In 1995, I entered ministry full time, and that was in higher education. That's where I have been serving the Lord ever since. So now I'm looking back at a few decades of just ministry experience, and I'm wondering what would older Mike say to younger Mike if I had it all to do over again. So today in the Ministry Matters section, I just wanted to share what I've entitled 5 key lessons that I think are helpful, things that have helped me. They've sort of been like guide rails for me in my ministry, and I pray that they'll help you as well. So very practical, but let me give them to you. Number one, God's calling comes first. So Veritas Baptist College, we are a ministry training school. It doesn't mean necessarily all of our graduates are paid full-time ministry employees, but all of them have a ministry heart, whether they are teaching a Sunday school class or helping behind the scenes somehow, but they're involved in ministry. Ministry isn't something that we pursue as a personal ambition, just as, wow, that would be a cool job to have. It really is a calling. And God's calling it just settles so many things in our lives. And so I don't know what you're dealing with today. I don't know what struggles you're coming out of as you start a brand new year. I don't know all of the burdens that you carry. I know many of you share some of them with us. We're grateful to have the opportunity to pray with you in it. But here's what I do know. God's calling provides such clarity for us, and it gives us an anchor. And so I start with that principle. God's calling always comes first. When everything else looks cloudy in my life, God's calling brings clarity. Here's a second key lesson. Spend time with Christ before spending time with others, or spend time with God before spending time with others. The principle is the same, but here's the idea. We're ministry leaders. That's who we are. Whether we're teaching in a Christian school or serving in a sound booth, we're leading people. But we can't lead people where we're not going. And so part of making sure we're leading people in the right direction is that we have the heart of God on matters. We are spending time with Him. And so I think sometimes as a type A person, I can attack a list. I know some of you probably would identify with that. We get these lists, and sometimes we even write things on our list just so we can cross them off and feel more productive. And it makes us feel like we have gotten a lot accomplished. But if we haven't done the needful thing, is what Jesus told to Mary and Martha, if we haven't taken care of that which is most needful, then whatever we think we have accomplished, it doesn't have an eternal impact. And so to me, lesson number one, God's calling comes first. That gives me clarity. Secondly, spending time with Christ before others, it gives me a grounding, it gives me direction, it gives me just a sense that I'm not in this alone. I'll be very transparent with you. I love the fact that we can be transparent, authentic, and no mask. But leading a college, sometimes there's just challenges that you are not prepared for. There are decisions that you make that no one told you would be making. And so as you get into those situations, it's really, really helpful to know that you're not alone. We've got a great team. I love our administrative team, and we make major decisions together. But it's not just a group of three. It really is a group of four. God is in the middle of our decision-making process, and that's the lesson. You can't lead to someplace you're not going. Number 3 out of 5. Always choose people over programs. That sounds so basic. It may even sound cliche, but if you've ever been on the other end of it, where you feel like maybe the program of a church was more important than the actual people, you understand the importance of this statement. So the goal isn't productivity. The goal isn't even, let me impress people with everything I'm doing. The goal is really impact and authenticity. And so invest in people. That's where the lasting blessings come from. So now I don't know, technically, I guess 2025 is 30 years of full-time ministry for me. So 30 years into it, full-time, here's an expression, I don't know who first coined it, but the expression is, I feel like I'm getting to clip coupons now in ministry, because the people that I tried to pour my life into for Kingdom Impact 30 years ago, I'm now seeing them serve the Lord and impacting in others. And many of the people they're impacting, they're sending here to train. It's this full circle, and it's because we just invested in people. And God has a way of just linking our paths together that I can't explain any other way except for God. So I challenge you, whether you have been at this for a long time and you're just refreshing your degree, or you're in the process of just getting started, choose God's people over man's programs, and you'll never regret it. Fourth decision, fourth key point, I guess, communicate God's word accurately. I love hermeneutics. I love Bible study. I love helping people improve in that area. And I love to hear the Bible preached systematically, in context. When it's out of context, I sit there in a church service, and that's I almost have a panic attack. Like, what are they doing? They're mutilating the text, Communicate God's word accurately. Here's where the danger comes in the 21st century. We could be tempted to dilute the truth, be popular. When that temptation comes, take a look at John the Baptist, take a look at Paul, take a look at all the Old Testament prophets, take a look at Jesus, and never forget that it is the truth that brings freedom. Jesus said, if you know the truth will make you free indeed. So don't dilute the truth just to gain a crowd. Secondly, don't delete the truth. Don't skip certain topics just because it might offend people. Preach it line by line, teach it line by line, and let God deal with people's hearts based on the word of God. Just let the word of God do the speaking. Don't be afraid to delete something because of peer pressure or friends of the day. Just communicate God's word in context accurately. And here's my final lesson. And this one took a while to learn. So I saved it for last because I think sometimes I'm still learning it. Ministry is a marathon, not a sprint. So when I graduated from Bible college back in the 1900s, I can say that now. I graduated in the 1900s. So when I graduated back in the 1900s, Uh, you know, when you hear this over and over again, Jesus is coming soon, and he is. That is a true statement. But sometimes a negative impact of that is we approach ministry like it's a sprint. Like he's probably coming tomorrow. I've got to change the world today. So what happens 30 years later is you're out of breath.
Yeah.
You've outpaced yourself. You're wondering how can you keep burning the candle at both ends because the middle has met a long time ago. And sometimes you just need somebody to just say, hey, it's okay to have margin in your life. And so I didn't, nobody told me that. Like one time years ago, I had somebody ask me, Mike, have you ever read the book Margin? It's written by a medical doctor about just having margin in your life. And I just joked, I said, if I had the margin to read it, I'd read it. I just didn't have the margin to read Margin. So now, people have invested in my life. They tried to help me learn some of these truths because I was learning them the hard way. Ministry is a marathon, not a sprint. So practically, what does that mean? It means it's okay to take time to sharpen your axe. That's what I view Veritas as.
Yeah.
I view it as your way to sharpen your axe. Most of you are already in ministry somewhere. So why are you in class? Because you're sharpening your axe. You know that a sharp axe cuts down a lot more wood, even if it takes you a few hours to get it sharpened. So you're sharpening your axe. I'd say this as well when I think about this marathon mentality. It's okay to invest in your family. It's okay to just say, hey, we're not going to be at every single event and do every single thing because I have a ministry not just to the church. I have a ministry to my family. It doesn't mean that there should be tension, but sometimes our kids can feel like there's tension. And it's just good to let them realize I'm investing in you just as much as I'm investing in the people that I mentioned in the church. So personally, we just had daughter number 3 get engaged in December. So this Christmas was our last Christmas with her as a family before we add another son-in-law. So we wanted to just disconnect. We went away, got out of cell phone coverage, and just spent time with our family. I think those are good things. Here's the third aspect that comes with ministry being a marathon, not a sprint. It means we have to take care of our physical health as well. It's okay to invest in our physical health, whether that's uh, losing weight, whether it's increasing our steps we take a day. Have a pretty sedentary lifestyle. I'm at a desk a lot, so having to force myself to get outside. It's not as easy to do in New England where I live to get out in the winter. I have no desire to go outside today, frankly.
Yeah.
But my life needs it. And so those are just practical goals I hope will be a help to you. So when you use those 5 lessons, God's calling comes first. Spending time with Christ before I spend time with others, elevating people over programs, communicating God's word accurately, and remembering that ministry is a marathon. I'm in it for the long haul. Segues me into just three resources I'd like to share with you. So 3 books. Sherry, are these written in the notes afterwards, or should they
I
write
can
them down?
take them, but while I got you paused, I'm going to tell you a couple of the folks that have hopped on while you were talking. So Michael Raker is watching from West Alexandria, Ohio. He says he took apologetics with you last semester.
Yep.
Lisette is watching from Stafford. She's likely snowed in up there, as we all are. Anne Marie is watching from Kentucky. She's snowed in, no doubt. Lisa Joyner watching from North Carolina. Brian Wagner watching from Walmart in North Carolina. So welcome, Brian. You can show all the folks that you're meeting in Walmart this Facebook Live. Adam Longo says watching from my home office on a snowy day in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Welcome, Adam.
Yeah.
Lisa Joyner says, in regards to your sharpening the axe, says dad used to say that, her dad, Dr. Halsey, said the woodsman who takes time to sharpen his axe is not wasting time.
Yep.
I'd like to kind of digest some of the things that you said, but I want to hear your
Sure.
tips first. So go for it. And then, we've got some others popped on real quick. Twin Cities, Dave Anderson and Twin Cities, and Michael Raker says drive-through evangelism. Lionel Mishi from Romania. Welcome, Lionel. We're glad you're here. We saw your application come through. Dr. Forrester mentioned you guys would be coming on, so we're glad to see you.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you part of the student body.
Dr. Lester is just about to he's recapping his 5 tips for ministry, and he's gonna give us some tips. So go right ahead. Go ahead and finish up.
All right, so 3 books. I just wanted to recommend to you that will be in the notes later underneath, but you can write them down as well. These are I may have mentioned one of these books, the last Give and Take last year, but this one is a book I have read over 50 times. It's a book on being a servant of God by Warren Wiersbe, who went to heaven last year.
Mm.
Being a servant of God basically is Wiersbe doing what I just did in this five tips was older Warren talking to younger Warren, 31 lessons he wish he would have known when he got started. So it's just really a page or two, maybe 3 pages a day. You read it in a month. It's an easy read, easy and digestible. So that's one on being a servant of God. Second book, The Ideal Team Player, Patrick Lencioni. Lencioni typically takes the approach of doing a fable at the beginning of his books where he illustrates the principles he's going to teach, and then he gives the principles at the end. But I have benefited greatly just from trying to be a better team player, to realize that the Christian life is lived in community, not a bunch of lone rangers. And so being a good team player is a good thought. And here's the last one. In fact, I had this one on my desk. I read this one last year. The title captivated me. It's called Canoeing the Mountains. So I don't know if you've ever heard this book by Todd Bolsinger, but Christian leadership in uncharted territory. He basically takes the metaphor of these men who were going to find a waterway from the Pacific Ocean back to the Mississippi River, and then all of a sudden there was no waterway, and they found themselves on a mountain. So the canoeing the mountain. What do you do when where you thought you were going has changed, and how do you adapt and still be a successful leader? And it was just a fascinating book. So those are my 3 resources I wanted to share. All right, Sherry, back to just the digesting some things. And
That last one I hadn't heard of. That's very interesting. And who was the author of the last one, the canoeing one?
Todd Bolsinger, Bolsinger.
Okay. All right. We'll try to link those in the comments as well. Since you were last talking, we have Bain Engels from Rwanda. Welcome. We are so
Hey,
glad
Bain.
that you're here. Dan Riley in Florida. So we've got a number of areas of the country represent and the world represented today. So we're glad that you guys hopped on with us. Be sure to let us know if there's something that we can help with, or if you are having questions about anything about Veritas. We've got folks ready and willing to help. One of the comments that you made can't lead to someplace you're not going. I thought that was really compelling and very convicting. So
Well, originally I had written down, you can't lead where you've not been. I don't think that's totally true, because if you're going that way, you may not have been there, but you're going that way. At least you
yeah,
can have people follow you. But if you're
right.
not even going that way, you can't lead others there.
Yeah. There's you've read The Peacemaker by Ken Sand.
Mhm, mhm.
He speaks a little bit to that when he talks about the idea of counseling folks or arbitration, kind of mentoring, that sort of thing. And he's talking about you can't breathe out grace unless you've breathed in
Yeah,
grace. Have you
yeah,
taken into account your own walk with the Lord before you try to counsel others? And it is such a convicting process, a beam in your own eye situation.
right. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's always great to kind of come back to that, because sometimes I think, like you said, some of us are checklist kind of people. I'm one of those, right? Put it on the list just for the satisfaction of crossing it off the list. And sometimes our spiritual walk can be part of that. Like, okay, I've done that, I'll check it off. But is it the real thing? Is it the real deal? Have you made it really impactful? And so that is I really liked that. Always choose people over programs, I think, is so fundamental, especially dependent on how you grew up and in what systems you grew up in. There is this, I will say, you can feel the difference.
Yeah,
You go to a ministry, you can feel it when they prioritize people over programs, and you can feel it when they don't.
yeah.
It becomes painfully obvious. They may not know it or may not even care if they do. But you as a person can feel it. We've got Tyler on watching. He's from in Alabama. Hey, Tyler. I just really appreciated, I realized that this is a list of 5 that could probably be much larger, much longer, much more in-depth. but I appreciate the fact that you have kind of encapsulated some really easy to digest and understandable truths that probably hit home for a lot of the people watching. They are either faculty or staff or students who have been in ministry or about to launch into ministry and want to kind of know from somebody who's been at it for a couple of decades. From the
Yeah,
19.
and from the 1900s. And the truth is, we're still learning.
Yeah, exactly.
I still need people to speak into my life. I have people who speak into me who point out when I am drifting or out of balance, and you never really achieve perfection per se.
Right.
But at least as you're learning lessons, you can at least pass them down. And so I hope that's a help.
Well, and I love the fact that you brought that Veritas can be the axe, that we can help you be the to achieve God's calling in your life. We are so excited. We talk about this pretty much every give and take because every guest that comes on alludes to this a little bit. Like how honored we are to have a part in God's calling and each of the people's lives that come to Veritas, either by way of being a student or faculty member. We don't take it lightly, and it is such a great honor and our privilege to curate a situation and a place where they can come and we can help fulfill God's calling from whoever will be a part. So this was our new segment, Ministry Matters. I appreciate your taking the time to do that. That was great. We'll put some of those in the notes and we'll get those books in particular listed there.
Sure, yeah, whatever you need from
Last
me, I can provide.
segment, if you are new to us, we have a segment in our give and takes called Schmores, and it is short for Mount Rushmore, and it is the top 4 of any given category. Dr. Lester's category is top 4 fast food fries. So he's going to put we're going to go back and forth. He's going to start. We're going to rank our top 4 fast food fries that we like the best. Darla's on watching from Fredericksburg. She snowed in as well. And we're going to go back and forth. And then you guys are going to I'm going to put the poll in afterwards, and you guys are going to vote for who has the best grouping of fries. So I will say, as a disclaimer, I haven't had fries in such a long time because I cut those out, but they are so viscerally, I mean, I still remember, you can't really get rid of just the fact that they're so delicious. So you go ahead first. We'll give you, what's your number 1 place?
So I'm going to tell you, this was a struggle. Like last time we talked about s'mores, we did Disney characters and things like that. It's like,
Yes.
oh, this is easy.
Yeah.
This was a little bit of a challenge. So to rank, I've never actually ranked.
Okay, so was it a
French
challenge
fries.
because you don't like fries, or was it a challenge because they were so equally, you never really
Yeah,
thought?
I just never think about which one is better. So this was subject to change. But
Okay,
this is
so
what it is.
Lisa says, "Oh, brother, I know where he's going with this."
No, I know what Lisa's thinking, and it's actually going to be my number 2. So I'm going to
Okay.
surprise Lisa. So
All right.
here's number 1. I put down Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
Okay. Now that was in contention. That's what I put for number 2. So your number 1 is Chick-fil-A. I tossed around. I tossed it around. It was definitely high on my list. So tell me why you picked it number 1.
It's just always fresh. I've never had a batch of a Chick-fil-A waffle fries that was inconsistent. It's
Yeah.
always been consistently good. And I can't say that for everything on my list, but it's like some of these that are on my list, it's like if they're fresh, they're like awesome, but they're not always. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So that was number 2 on my list. My number 1, don't come for me. I like McDonald's fries. I remember really liking McDonald's fries. So y'all can put in the comments if you think I'm disgusting or if that's whatever, but they always were very crispy. They're very salty, I really just liked them. So that was my number 1. You took my number 2. So what's your number 2?
my number 2 is In-N-Out.
I think Lisa knew that was coming.
Yeah.
All right. What makes them a slightly less than out? Like they're on your list, so they're good, but what makes them slightly less than Chick-fil-A?
Probably the texture. I like the waffle fry texture. So,
Got it.
but
All right.
In-N-Out, they at least have a Bible verse on the bottom of the container. So I think that I almost ranked it right above it.
Yeah, it was
quite get there.
kind of a toss up for you. Tyler says In-N-Out with about 45 exclamation points, so he's on your team with that.
Yep.
All right. So since you took my number 2, my number 3 becomes number 2. Okay, Darla says McDonald's are the best fast food fries. I'm glad I have somebody in my corner. Longhorn are the best restaurant ones. Okay, we'll do that one another one. Darla, I'll have you on and we'll do the restaurant ones. We'll compare those ones. Okay, so my number two becomes Wendy's, and here's why. Wendy's, it does have the right amount of crispiness, the right amount of salt, but also, hear me out. Who has put the fries into a
In the
frosty?
frosty
Yes. Okay, so
or the
when
chili.
oh yeah, I do like their chili too. So I put Wendy's becomes my number two. Paula's watching from Kentucky. Hey, Paula.
Okay, so Wendy's was actually my number three, and
Ah,
McDonald's was my number four. So
okay. So that
does that
makes
mean
it,
do I have to come up with two new ones in,
yeah, you have to bump up. You have to put McDonald's as your number three and then come up with another one. Oh, no, I
even though
mean, you
you have
gotta, yeah,
McDonald's?
you gotta do another one. You gotta do because I
I
took
have
two.
two more, right? I need two
Uh-huh.
more. All right, so Burger King was my alternative.
Okay.
So Burger King will bump up
All right.
from the fifth place to the third place.
All right. My number three is Arby's curly fries.
Mm.
Now, I will say these aren't these are just bumping up because Mike and I have a lot of the same ones. So we had to bump up. So I wouldn't say they're my favorite, but they're definitely on the list. So Arby's curly fries.
Yeah, I
I
didn't think
remember,
about Arby's.
I remember thinking as a kid they were so special. Like, oh my word, these are curly. I remember thinking they were very cool. All right. And so what is your number five? Lisa says Five Guys. She's adamant. She's going to, and I would argue, you guys tell me what you think. Is Five Guys considered fast food or restaurant food? Because I almost put them on the list and I thought, I don't know if Dan Riley's on the Five Guys train.
So
If so, he had the question.
I would call Five Guys. I would call them fast food, but I can taste the peanut oil for their French fries, so that it doesn't make my list.
Got it.
So what I'm calling number five would have been like really number seven or number
Right.
four would have been like way
It's
down the line, but
right.
because
Because I
of
took your
so
your top two. Yeah, I get it.
so then I don't think anybody's going to put this on their list, so I think I'm safe with this one. Bristol's French fries.
Crystal.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
even know
didn't
if
even think
people
about that.
still
We don't,
eat at French fries. I don't know if people still go to Crystal's. But growing
do
up,
they
we
still
went to Crystal's.
exist?
Yeah, they were really really those small sliders, and they were so cheap. So we would go with on a pastoral salary that we had. We ate at a lot of ate a lot of Crystals growing up. So
Crystal, I didn't even think about it because we don't even have any around here. So it never even occurred to me. All right. So my number four is Dairy Queen, basically because we had a lot of the same ones. So I do like Dairy Queen. Same idea, because you can usually put it in the ice cream. They would be nice and crispy and salty, and then you could dip it into whatever ice cream you got with your meal that would usually
the
come with it.
Blizzard,
So.
you got to put it in
Yes,
the
a
Blizzard.
blizzard, exactly. All right, so your grouping is Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, Burger King, and Crystal. Mine is McDonald's, Wendy's, Arby's, curly fries, and Dairy Queen.
So
So,
Five Guys didn't even make the list. It looks like.
well, that's what it would have made my list, but I wasn't totally confident that it would be considered fast food. So, in my mind, it was like, does it have a drive-through? No, meaning you have to go in, that kind of thing. So I left it off my list, but I
The,
probably
the
I probably would have
the
put it.
other one, I'll throw this out for my Texas friends. The other one that didn't make my list just because I don't have access to it is Whataburger.
Oh, I do
So
love a good. Yeah, I don't have.
if
I don't
Whataburger
have.
was closer, I would have probably it would have been the bottom number four, but it's just
Yeah,
not. I don't have access to it.
same. That's why I didn't think about it either. I do like those. Paula says Steak and Shake.
I didn't think about them either.
Let's see. Michael Raker says, "Thank you, Sherry. Arby's is second to Chick-fil-A for me." Paula likes Red Robin fries. Yeah, those are good. Those are
But that's
restaurant.
not
Those
fast
are going
food
in the
though.
next
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Dan Riley says Pudgy's in Floral City, Florida, local place. So you have to come visit. Okay, I'm in. I'll go to
I'm
anything
in.
called Pudgy's, Dan. I'm
Yeah,
in.
sign me up.
That's fun. All right. Very good. Okay. So, and also just a disclaimer, you guys eat the fries according to whatever your health needs are. We're not advocating that you go and eat all of these or try them out for yourself. That's not Veritas's space. We are just ranking them for ourselves. So we are glad that you hopped on with us today. I'm going to put this poll in after and then put the links to the books that he suggested. again, thank you so, so much for hopping on today and engaging in the comments. And if there's anything we can do for you, we would love to help. Just message us. We are here for you. Dr. Lester, anything you want to say before you hop off?
No, just really grateful to spend some time with our student body. And if you guys need anything, please let us know.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
See ya.